Hey guys, Joey here, back with another Zenless Zone video. This time we are going to be taking a look at Ju Fufu's CN analysis, checking out her kit, how she compares to the other stun agents, and what to invest into her to make her work best. If you enjoy this style of content, feel free to like and subscribe, it really helps me a lot, and let's begin. Ju Fufu is going to be mainly an off-field stun agent, the second S rank after her counterpart trigger. She has the second highest base impact and attack out of the stun agent, and the first to have crit rate as her core passive bonus stat, reaching up to 14.4%. This stat is going to be important later on when we take a look at how to build her. The main part of her kit is going to be providing strong buffs for the entire team. Now how Ju Fufu is going to be applying the buffs is through two of her main mechanics, Might and Momentum. Might being the bar below her character icon, and Momentum being the fist icon under her HP bar. Momentum has a maximum of 15 stacks and can be gained from EX specials, ultimate, and assist follow-ups. When Ju Fufu has momentum, she is able to enter this fiery spin when off-field, which allows her to deal fire anomaly damage and consumes momentum stacks per hit. Might on the other hand has a maximum of 200 points and can be gained from Hu Wei, this head of hers, hitting the enemies. It can also be gained from the fiery spins, EX specials, and ultimate. At 100 points, it allows Ju Fufu to perform a special chain attack, which is when she applies the Tiger's Roar buff to the entire team. Now, Tiger's Roar is going to be part of her core passive and gives the entire team up to 50% crit damage increase when Ju Fufu reaches 3400 attack. It also gives the entire team 20% chain attack and 40% ultimate damage increase, while giving Ju Fufu an additional 50 impact. Her additional ability is going to be active when there is an attack or rupture agent, making her great not just for Ishran but other agents such as Evelyn as well. This ability is going to increase the team's max decibel by 1000 and refund characters 300 decibel upon using their ultimate. Now with her kit explained, let's take a look at her Daze contribution with her skills and what to prioritize when leveling them. So looking at the chart, we can see that her chain attack and ultimate makes up for basically half of the Daze contribution. The parry and assist makes up for roughly 20%, followed by the EX special and basic attack. Her fiery spins, which we talked about previously and is actually important to how she gains might, actually contributes the least to her Daze. This is tied to the dodge skill as well. So from this, we can prioritize leveling her ultimate first, followed by her assist, EX special and basic, with the least priority given to her dodge skill. Next up is Ju Fufu's W engines. Her signature gives her a huge 30% attack stat, which is important for reaching her 3400 attack goal needed for her buffs. It also increases her Daze by 28% on her ultimate, EX special and chain attack, while providing a 20% damage increase to the team. Overall, a very solid W engine that not just benefits her, but her teammates as well. Looking at the other options however, we can see that her signature doesn't outperform any of them significantly when it comes to Daze contribution. It beats U1 Hellfire by only 2.7% and even gets outperformed by some of the other A rank engines such as Steam Oven and Precious Forcer when its full conditions are met. However, do take note that her signature is able to provide buffs for the team, and that is the only stun engine out of this chart with attack as its main stat. This will affect how we build her when we talk about her drive disc next. You can expect similar performance when it comes to damage contribution, as seen below. Pause the video if needed. For Ju Fufu's drive disc, her 4-piece is going to be the new King of the Summit set that is made for her. It provides a team-wide 30% crit damage increase if the equiper has over 50% crit rate. That's why it's recommended to use a slot 4 crit rate and a slot 5 and 6 attack to reach the stat goals. With the main stat goals for Ju Fufu to reach 50% crit rate and 3400 attack. Out of the two, the crit rate priority is going to be higher since half of the drive disc bonus isn't active if you do not reach it. Otherwise, feel free to swap out slot 6 for an impact slot. The CN site has calculated the number of attack and crit rolls we need for the drive disc based on the W engine used for Ju Fufu. For all the W engines, you will need 13 crit rate rolls, and these are inclusive of the main stats from slot 4, which means you only need 3 other crit rate rolls from other pieces. For the attack rolls, they are going to vary greatly based on whether you have a signature. With a signature, you will only need 4 attack rolls from other pieces with a slot 5 and 6 attack. This is going to greatly reduce the stat requirements for her. Without her signature however, the stat requirements will be a lot higher, needing at least 15 attack rolls to worst case 20 attack rolls, which is not impossible but it just means we have to roll better. Now we know that Ju Fufu is going to be the best out of the stun agents when it comes to buffing her teammates, with the amount of buff she provides clearly beating the rest of the stun agents. But let's take a look at the numbers from the CN testing. Starting with Yixuan's ultimate, Ju Fufu is able to increase Yixuan's ultimate damage by a very large 55%, and with the signature, it provides an additional 10% increase. For Yixuan's chain attack, Ju Fufu is able to increase Yixuan's chain attack damage by 47%, and with the signature, it also provides an additional 10% increase. Lastly, for Yixuan's EX special, Ju Fufu is able to increase Yixuan's EX special damage by 33%, and with the signature, it provides an additional 12% increase this time. So clearly these buffs are going to be very good for rupture and attack agents such as Yixuan and Evelyn. They are going to rely on their ultimate and chain attacks often. Taking a look at how she compares to on-field stun agents in terms of days, she unfortunately is going to lose out as an off-field stun agent. This testing comparison was done with Anbi as the on-field stun agent, with both agents using slot 6 impact, and Ju Fufu using her signature. Do take note that since Ju Fufu is an off-field stun agent, her Daze build-up is essentially based on her and the on-field DPS Daze contribution. So even with her signature, she's only able to reach 70 Daze meter, while Anbi has already triggered the stun. This is probably trying to show that Anbi is considered the lowest bar among the on-field stun agents, so you can kind of see how it's going to be like compared to the rest of the on-field stun agent. But this doesn't mean that Ju Fufu is going to be a bad stun agent, since there's more to her kit with the buffs that she provides and the importance of her off-field playstyle. Now let's take a look at a comparison to her closest counterpart Trigger. The CN tester compared both agents using their expected combat actions from their kit. When it comes to the ultimate actions, Ju Fufu is going to deal more days compared to Trigger, but do note that it's going to take roughly twice of Trigger's ultimate action duration, which means that Trigger could possibly do more days within the remaining duration. For the remaining actions such as EX Special, parrying, follow-up, and the specific character's unique actions, for example, Trigger's harmonizing and Tartarus shots, and Ju Fufu's pet attacks with her chain attack, Trigger is going to beat her in not just the Daze contribution, but also in the duration and the damage done. So overall, Trigger would be better than Ju Fufu. However, this is only when considering that Trigger has her additional ability activated. Most of you will be considering Ju Fufu to pair her up with Yixuan, who is a Rupture agent, and Trigger isn't able to activate her additional ability with Rupture. So this causes her Daze contribution to drop significantly as shown, and basically Ju Fufu performs better in this setting. Here's a small section that I found interesting from CN side about using Ju Fufu as an on-field stun agent. Her basic attack from the third hit acts as the same as Qingyi, and is able to be spammed infinitely. So if you have Qingyi's or lighter signature, you can use it on Ju Fufu and it might work, but there's not much testing done on it yet. CN doesn't actually recommend playing this playstyle for her, but you can use this info however you like. For Ju Fufu's team comps, she's going to be very flexible in many teams as an off-field stun agent. Her best will obviously be with Yixuan as they are from the same faction and she's clearly made for her. But she can also be paired with Evelyn as well, since both her and Yixuan are on-field DPS agents that want to build up their damage resources to do as much damage as possible during the stun phase. You can also pair Ju Fufu with Hugo and Alan, as they are attack agents that can benefit from her buffs as well. The only team composition that you want to avoid is putting her with anomaly characters, as she can't trigger her additional ability and her crit damage buffs are not useful for them. Now here's a showcase of Ju Fufu at M0U1 together with Yixuan M0U1 and Pan Yinhu at M6U0. Her playstyle is really simple. You will basically only switch to her when she has energy to use her EX special or when she has her ultimate. Other than that, she's going to be off-field the entire time and letting Yixuan build up her damage resources. As you can see, she's able to stun the boss just as Yixuan has fully built up her resources to the max, so there's no wasted overflowing of resources for Yixuan. coming to the final part of the video, and we are going to wrap up with the final thoughts from the CN side. So it is highly recommended to pull for Ju Fufu if you already have Yixuan in your team, as she is going to be the best in slot stun agent for Yixuan. She is very comfortable to use and doesn't clash with Yixuan for on-field time, allowing Yixuan to build up her resources before stunning at the right moment. New players will definitely want to pull her to pair her with Yixuan and complete a proper team for their endgame content. For the pulling opinion on getting either the W engine or M1, CN feels that M1 is the better option as it allows Ju Fufu to start off with her buffs immediately, which is the bread and butter of her kit. This helps the team's damage contribution as well as her own Daze with the 50 impact increase. The 12% crit rate is also going to help reduce the stat requirements for her, while the 35% stun damage multiplier increase lets the team do more damage compared to the W engine. The main weakness for Ju Fufu is going to be the building aspect of her, as she is quite stat hungry and requires a lot of good rolls into your disc drives if you do not have her signature. So it's going to be difficult to min-max her without investing pulling resources. And do take note that the next character is going to be a support agent, and as we all know, most supports are going to be broken in Hoyo games, so be mindful of your pulling resources. And that's it for the video. Hope the CN findings help you with your pulling decision on Ju Fufu. Like and subscribe, follow me on Twitch, and all the best for your pulls. Take care.